Sup. Basically, in this video, we're going to be going through how to create this here air treatment chamber. Basically, all you have to know is what this does is there's a big drop shaft here where sewage comes in and goes right down to the bottom. Air rises up and comes through this pipe. Then it travels through some carbon filters here. Basically, they're filters full of carbon which absorbs bad smells and things. And other things. Then it comes through this pipe, which is at a slight rise, by the way. It has a slight slope. Comes all the way here, down there to this chamber, where there's two vent columns in this hole and this hole, and they'll stand up high and release up here above the people who are walking along here. Now, just so you know, this is an underground structure, and the floor, the surface, is about the height of the top of these manhole covers, or what do you call those? Upstands, the concrete upstands. Without further ado, I'm just going to get started. So I'm going to say File, New, Project. You can pick either construction or structural template. I'm just going to pick my own, create my own, or pick my own that I created before. If you want to know how to create your own, check the link in the description. I'm going to close this old one down. This was actually made on a real project that I worked on, but I'm going to use my own dimensions so no one can really complain about copyright or anything like that. Not copyright, but disclosing client information or anything. This is simply educational. So I've extended my level. Go into any of these elevation views and say level, or what I do is just click the level you have and say CS, type CS. Pick this, and I'm going to make it 100 meters above this. The reason I'm putting 100,000 in is because this is in millimeters. And if I click slightly above this, it puts it above that line. Now, I want this to be the base of my air treatment chamber. That's the big box. And I'm gonna do that again. CS, this. I'm gonna put, so I want this to be the top of the base slab. Then 4 meters above that, I want the base of the roof slab. So those are the only two levels I need for now. So I'll rename them. ATU base slab. Then I'm going to go to the base slab level. You can actually give a code before these, as I had previously. You can name them 000 and then 001 so that they're in order, but I'm not going to do that. So at the base slab level, I'm going to say structure, floor, and just pick any floor. If you're using the generic out of the box construction template or structural template, you'll find that there's a bunch of floors here. Just pick the generic one and say edit type and duplicate, and then name it concrete. .600 thick. Then edit the type. Remember to duplicate first because you don't want to edit something that's existing. So thickness, add that, and now I'm going to add a material. Expand your materials library down here. You can do that. Oh, don't remember how I did it. It's one of these buttons, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You can work it out. Go to concrete. Say, I'm going to say C50. Load that into the project using that little button there. Select it up here. Say OK. And say OK. Now I've got a new floor called concrete 600 thick. And I want to create a rectangular shape there. I'm going to actually select this. I want it to be about 10 meters long, so 10,000 millimeters. By the way, please do follow along in Imperial if you want to. You don't need dimensions. The dimensions don't have to be perfect. I'll make that 6,000. Yeah, that's fine. Choose the span direction. Oh, that's already selected as this one. But if you didn't select a rectangular view, you'd have had to select span direction and then choose this to change that. Seeing as this is concrete, I don't think it's a big deal. I'm going to say no, I'm not going to load a span direction family because I don't really need to. Right, now let's go to 3D mode. And there we have it. We have our base slab. Now, I'm going to go back to base slab mode, the base slab level. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to an elevation level and I'm going to create a new level. I'm going to click this one and expand it out there. Click this and type CS. I just want that as a reference level. I don't really need it as such. I'm probably going to delete it later. So I go to level 3. If you can't see this base slab, you can add an underlay from there, put the base slab level there, or you need to change your view range. I'll have a link in the description below for a view range video. Won't necessarily be from my channel, but check it out. I'll make one in due time. So I want to create some structural walls. Now we're going to create a new wall the same way. I've already got a wall there that I want, that I'm going to use, but I'm going to show you how to create that. It's exactly the same as the base slab. So duplicate the one you have, rename it. I'll make this one 450 thick. Just name it ATU because maybe I want a certain wall just for the ATU only. Give it a thickness, give it a wall, concrete type. I'll say cast in place. You know what, I'll actually change that just for argument's sake. I'll give it C35. Say OK. OK. That's it. Yep. OK. And now I'm going to pick lines. I'm going to change the base constraint. Oh no. There we go. The base constraint needs to be ATU base slab, and the top constraint needs to be ATU roof slab, not level 3. And I'm going to say finish face exterior, slightly on this side. That way it keeps it inside. And that's it. It's not like the base slab where you have to say OK because you're just putting them in live. Right, now I think that looks a bit high. Considering I know what this structure looks like, I'm going to change the height of the roof slab. Now, the beauty of this is that this is connected to that level. So I'm going to change this to, say, 2.5. So this height is only 2.5 meters. I'm going to change this scale here to 1 in 20 so that I can, oh, okay, maybe 1 in 25. Oh, okay, 1 in 50. There we go, so that I can see these at least. Yeah, that's that, done. Now, back to level 3. Now, actually, I want to go to the roof slab level. I am going to place a roof slab on here, and I want it, basically, I'm just going to put another floor on it for this particular structure. So I would say floor, concrete, 600 thick. I'm going to edit type, duplicate that, and maybe make a 550 thick. make it the same, but now I need to change this thickness. This is the most important bit. Remember that. Sorry, I was just checking something with my recording. Say OK. There we go. Now I can pick walls now, so it's just like pick lines, but as you can see, it's picked the inside, so I don't really want to do that. I'll undo. I'm sure you can change the justification, but I'm not going to look into that right now. It doesn't really matter. I can just pick lines just the same. You can remember to set the span direction if your Revit hasn't automatically done it. You can also add a slope, but I'm not going to look into that right now because we don't need that. No, I'm not going to load a span direction symbol. I'm going to say no to this because I want you to see something. I've placed it down. Let's go to an elevation view. I placed the slab down, but the top of the slab is on the roof slab level. Now I placed it on the roof slab level knowing that, and these go up to the roof slab level. So if I wanted this on top, which I do, what I need to do is I need to select it and say height offset, and I know it's 550 thick, so I'll add 550 to the height. You could have done that while you were drawing it, remember that. So if I double click this, go to base slab view, that option is here, so remember that when drawing. I'm going to say no, I don't want the walls to go to the bottom. I just prefer it like this. I'm actually going to rename this to bottom of roof slab so that I don't confuse anyone. Well, yeah, that's fine. I was going to say top of walls. Now, I was just thinking to name it that. Now, what I need is a path going this way. Let me find an image so that we know what's going on. So I have this displaced image, which means basically I've displaced some things so that you can see inside. But basically, that's the roof that we just drew, and those are the walls and stuff. Anyway, next I'm going to draw these walls. Actually, I realized I forgot that, but I want to place these slabs down that go towards this vent chamber. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Basically, let me go to level 3 and place those walls down first. I'm going to come here and say wall. I want it to be that one, yes. You can just draw a line. I'll say I want this face. I'll say I want it 2 meters away from that face. So, finish face exterior, yes. Offset 2000 millimeters. And then I want the next one 2 meters away from this face. No, I'll make this one 2.5 meters. There we go. Now, select this, select that. And I will say, I'll drag this out and change this automatic dimension to 2 meters. Boom, done. So, that's that. I'm just trying to think. Right, yeah, that's fine. Now I'm going to go to the, well actually I'm going to place from here, I'm going to make that path. What I want to do is come to structure, say floor. I'm going to draw a rectangle and I want it to be 8 meters long. I'm just going to use the Revit's automatic thing. and I want it to be 2 meters wide, so I'm going to put it here because it's snapping to that. So if I select this, I can now hit that, say, oh, nope, don't want it 200, I want it 2000 millimeters. There we go. And now I want it to be 50 millimeters away from the edge because I want to put some kind of board material in between. So select any base point, zoom right in and say, well, I could just type 50. Yeah, and that's it. No, I don't want that thing. Now, I want one of these, and then I want a 45-degree angle here, and then I want two, and then I want another 45-degree angle, and then I want to change these shapes. So, I want to select this one, rotate, copy, hit exactly this point here. I want to select, well, that point, and then rotate it 45 degrees. Yes, it's just telling me highlighted floors overlap. That's fine. I know they were going to say that. I mean, move it with that base point, place it there. Now, I want to select this one, say pick lines. I'm going to pick that line, and then I want to say trim extend that to that. No, I don't. That is interesting. Sorry about that. Basically, I wanted a 45-degree angle between the perpendicular line and center line of this, and I made, well, this angle is basically 45 degrees away from the line there. So if you imagine that this line, that angle is 45 degrees and that angle is 45 degrees. So this one should be 45 degrees, but in order for these to connect perfectly without this issue here, this angle here between this line and that line needs to be 22.5 degrees. So I'm going to select this and rotate, say place that point there, here, start rotating and say 22.5, boom, done. Oh, actually I need to delete this line. I'll change the span direction to that. Don't think it makes much difference, but I feel like doing it. Now I'm going to edit this one and select that line. I'm just going to drag that to there and then drag this to there. Change the span length. I want it to be long ways. Say OK. Now I want that 50 millimeter gap. Actually, for that, I'm just going to draw I'm just going to pick lines, draw a model line, and I'm going to offset that one. Actually, no, I don't even need to do that. I can just select this, move, select a line there, and then move along that line and say 50. That doesn't make it 50 millimeters. Right, so I'm going to offset this. I want that gap to be 50 millimeters. Not just, I don't just want to move it along 50. Actually, I suppose it would still be the same. Anyway, whatever floats your boat. At least you've seen that there's many ways of doing this. There's many little tools and stuff. Cool. Now I'm going to mirror this. Where's my mirror command? There. I'm going to say pick lines. Where is it? Oh. Pick mirror axes. That's it. But I want to add an offset. It doesn't let me do that. Alright, fine. I'll just do it like this. I wanted to offset it 50 millimeters. For this one, I'm just going to move it 50 mil. Make sure the direction is right when you do that, by the way. Now I want this edge to be facing this direction, not that direction, because there's going to be another slab here. I'm gonna mirror center point to any perpendicular line. Oh, basically I had copy selected, so remember to deactivate that. I can just delete this. Now I'm gonna do the same thing. Mirror by pick axes. There we go. And then, well, structure, model line. I'll put the offset on now, 50. Pick lines. There we go. Select this, move. And now I'm going to mirror that again. Move it down. But this time I want to edit this now. I want this to be 8 meters. So I'll drag that in until I get the perpendicular snap and drag that back. So okay. Now I'll select that and copy using the previous one as a base point. Now when I move it, paste it to that point there, it's already got the gap. And I think I'll end it there. Now I'll build the vent chamber. By the way, what was very useful is for this, I had the architectural, not the architectural, I had an AutoCAD drawing of the outline of this. The engineer could use AutoCAD, so he sent me that, which was very useful in creating these in Revit anyway. I mean, even in MicroStation, it was great to create with that. So encourage engineers to use that, and architects. It's really useful. I mean, it's much faster. It's not about usefulness. Now I want to basically. Ooh, I see what I've done wrong there. I drew those on level 3. So if I select all of these, I can now change this level here to ATU base slab. I want the first one to start there, and I wanted them to continue on the same level. But now, what happens in this is there's a slope on the pipe. Let me get the picture up again. This pipe is sloping upwards, so this is higher than this point. The center of that is lower than the center of that. And as you can see, if I zoom in, oh, these are stepping up slightly. You can see it there. That is lower than that. And they step up by about 80 millimeters or something. In real life, they all varied by some were 75 mil, some were 80, some were 85, depending on how much was needed. I'm gonna increase them manually, basically. I'm gonna select this one and I'm gonna say I want it higher by 70 mil. Now I'll select that one and increase it by 140. Oh, sorry, I keep pressing enter. You can select this one and 210. Just move your mouse back out. 280 and 350. Cool. Now they all have that jump. I'm gonna go to. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to east. Select one of these. They're all locked together. Drag it out. Change this to 1 and 20. And I want a level there. So CS, type CS. pick lines, pick that line. Oh. I'm going to drag it out there. I'm going to name this vent chamber slab. Right, so now I can right click on that and say go to floor plan. No, I don't want to go to a floor plan, that's an architectural plan. Make sure you're in the structural plan mode. So vent chamber slab. And I'm going to draw that ventilation chamber there. Let's see if I remember the numbers. Well, I'm just going to make the numbers up. So follow my lead. Floor, 600 thick, just like the base slab. Pick lines, I'm going to say offset 50. So that's 50 away from there. Cool. Now, if I select that line there, I'm just going to draw the outline first. In real life, you'll have more direction going. Just follow my lead. And then I'm going to draw a line here. Let's say 3.5 meters, and then 2.5 meters, and then one there connecting those, and then one there. Now, let's say the requirement was to have this length, this dimension to be a certain length, and that dimension to be a certain length from there to there. I'm going to move these just so that that's possible. So, right, let's say I want that to be 300. I'll drag it out. I'll just use the offset command or anything just to make it right. And then I want that to be 2 meters. I'll drag it in, and I'll just delete these dimensions. You can also actually use these to automatically do it, but I'm not going to do that in this video. Span direction, make it that way. And that's it. Done. No, I don't want to load a span direction symbol. Go to 3D mode. I will save the project actually. Just save it to my desktop as 1. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. 2. Cool. Now we're looking at it in 3D. I'm going to go to level 3 again because I know that that is higher than this. Remember, when you're drawing walls, you need to be looking down on the level that you want to place them on. But it doesn't matter if you're below the top of them, but you need to be on top looking down. You can't be on the level. So if I want it to start from the base slab, I can't start the wall from the base slab level. I don't know why it doesn't let you do that, but just remember that and bear that in mind. So I'm going to say structure, wall, basic concrete, pick lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and remember to set the top constraints. I'm going to change the top to ATU roof slab. And so, okay. Yeah, I am going to do that. I was thinking of doing something different, but I remember that the ground level was the same here as it was there. Oh no, but that won't matter actually. So, that's something you'll learn about later. I'm going to highlight all of the. Actually, I'm going to go to an elevation view. I'm going to select this and say CS, type CS. And I'm going to place the vent chamber exactly the distance between the base slab and the vent slab. So 350 mil. So I want the difference between these two to be to equal the distance between this and the top of this, the vent chamber. So I'm going to add an offset there and click and rename it top of vent slab. And that's it. Now, these walls were connected to level 3. This is the vent slab. I'll just show you in 3D actually. Oh, we have a problem though. You can hold shift and the middle mouse button, by the way, to do that. Yes, so the base is the ATU base slab. Right, so I'm not this base slab, not the new level I created for this. I'm going to highlight all of these, come to filter, and say uncheck everything except what I want, which is the walls. Say apply, okay. Change the base constraint to vent chamber slab and the top constraint to vent chamber roof. Oh, I've got to scroll down. Top of vent slab. I'm actually going to rename that. I don't know why I named it top of vent slab. Cool. There we go. It does look a bit long compared to the one I created in real life, but that doesn't matter. This is educational. In real life, you'd not have to worry about that. You'd just make it lower. Right, so vent chamber slab. Now I want the roof on this, the roof slab. So I'll say come to that level, vent chamber slab, roof, say floor, 550 thick. Pick lines. Well, I'll say pick walls. That should work. No, see, it's drawing it inside. Doesn't matter. I'll say pick lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll add an offset of 550. Give it a span direction. It's already got one, but I'll just put it here. Same thing as it was before, really. Say no to that. I don't want span direction. Oh. See, what happened was, let me double click it to edit. I was putting it on the vent chamber slab level. What I was meant to put it on the top of vent chamber level. I'll do that. Say okay. No, I don't want these to. Okay. Another issue. It removed the offset when I changed it. So I'll add that back on. And there we go. It's 600 thick. That's why it's slightly eating into the walls. There we go. Cool. Now, here's the thing. I made a slight mistake. And you know what? I would have edited these out, but it's important that you learn from my mistakes. See, now I've made this a bit high. Mistakes happen. So, shut up, innit? This is too high. I wanted these to be level. I'm going to go to elevation view now, and I'm going to move. What is that? That's the ATU itself. Actually, I'll show you a quick little tool. I'll go to wireframe. I can see there's walls inside. Oh, see, I've made another. Well, I won't call it that big of a mistake. Select these walls. These are the inside of the air treatment unit, the ones we created here. On this structure, I need to select those and bring them up to the top again. See, that's the beauty of this. Straight up to the top. Roof slab. Done. Now, with this, I want these. I want this level and that level to move. Because now that whole structure is associated to it. and I want them to be flush with the final. So I'll select that one, hold control, select that one, move from there down, and there you go. Now they are a bit too low actually. Basically, I'll select this. I know it's 350 above this level. Now I'll go to north and investigate. This level is at 100,000, so 100 meters above zero. So add 350 to that. 100, 350. Now this one should be, well, 350 above that. And I'll move it. Ah, I see what's happening. These are all moving up, but they're drawn. Right, so I do have a slight issue. This, I drew it earlier, is too high. These need to be, this slab needs to kind of meet this slab in terms of height. The top of that needs to be at the same level as the top of this slab. So I know what's wrong. If I select it, the height offset is 550. I think when I drew it, I had that activated because I drew something previously. I'm going to change that to 0. This needs its 550 height offset because now if I change that, it eats into the wall. So when I was drawing on the top of that level, the top of the slab was going to be at that level. So to increase the height of the slab so that the bottom is at the level that I'm drawing on, I add the offset. So I accidentally did that with this one because I had done it previously, I believe, with that slab or something. I'm guessing that, or I drew that slab first. I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong. I'll have to go back and watch, but it doesn't matter. You've seen now how to correct it if you make the same mistake, so don't hate. Anyway, now, as you can see, oh, sorry about that. I lost my image. Basically, this structure has manholes in it. The base slab has holes cut into it. So people can go down there so that they can work on it for maintenance and things like that. Check out the pipe for cracks. And they've been laid out and set out a certain way. I'm not going to show you how to set things out. You should know how to do that. But I'm going to show you how to create the holes, and you will know you can create your own layout basically. So just for this area, we needed 2 because we need to get one man down there, and we needed a secondary one in case someone fell down or something like that. And then we needed 2 accesses to this place as well. And then we needed a long access to get down, to get these vents down there, or to get a small crane to get down there to lift them up. And then we needed these ones to refill the carbon in these filters. And I don't remember what that one was for. It was probably an extra one, just as a secondary access or something, or a tertiary access. Anyway, I hope my boss isn't watching because I should know what that was for. I'm going to double click this and say ATU roof slab. I'll edit it from that level. I can now place rectangles. Let's say they wanted one flush with this wall, and they wanted one like that. Now you can select these and change the dimensions and things like that to make them suited to your needs. I'll drag that one in there. I'll place one here. Let's say I wanted it to be 50 mil away from that wall. I think in real life it was flush. And then I'll pick lines well, I'll remove the offset and pick line. Oh, shut up. Pick lines. Draw line there, and then trim extend. Now, everything you draw has to be in closed loops. If I draw a line randomly, it won't work. Actually, I'm just going to drag this out there a bit because in real life, I don't think you'd have a wall connecting to that. Oh, see, that wasn't a closed loop. This line continues. So lucky I saw that. Trim extend. Anyway, I'll place more there, more there. Right, I'm not going to do any more. You can, well, I'll do one more just to make it like the one I made there. They all had certain sizes, by the way. I'm not going to be that accurate. I'm not building this for anything. It's for educational purposes only. You can create whatever sizes you want. Think about reasons. I suppose that can be an exercise. Think about reasons why you'd want certain sizes where. And remember, there's going to be ladders coming down from these, so place them relatively in a relatively good position. And you can do the same on these. In fact, I am going to do this one. I wasn't going to, but this one had circular holes on it. All you can edit from any plan view. It doesn't really matter as long as you can see the boundaries, as long as you can see the walls underneath. I'll place one circle there. Well, let me be more accurate with this. Let me say I want it to be 2 meters away from the outside wall. And pick lines. No, 1.5 meters. No, 1.2 meters. Whoops. And same from there. We'll say 800 from here. And I don't know, 2 from there. 2 meters. Alright, I'm just gonna manually place them. This was well calculated by an engineer at the time, so well actually no, that doesn't look too bad. I just want to make it look quite close in terms of realism to what I actually made. So I'll use those as center points. 240 here, 240 there. Remember to remove these construction lines, you can call them. I'll place another one there, one here, and one there. So, okay. I have overlapping lines apparently. Yes, one construction line has stayed. Cool. No, I don't want the walls to attach to the top because it doesn't really matter. Not required here. This isn't an architectural model. And there you go. That's that done. So I'll see you again in part 2. This is part 1 done. This is the basic structure. This is basically my beginner friendly video. The next one will be more beginner to intermediate, and then the final video will be something more for advanced users. But if you are a beginner, please do watch the next 2 because I'm easing you into this. Basically what we're going to do next is we're going to make our own piles and we're going to place them down. Placing the piles is not an issue, it's just making them is slightly, well, it's not even hard, it's just something intermediate folks would fully understand. But if you're a beginner, by all means, please do watch it because it's not that bad, it's not that difficult. And then we're going to populate the inside with the filters themselves, or the structure we're going to use to represent the filter. I'm going to hide this. And we're going to put the 2 vents in here. And we're going to put a slope a sloped floor on top of this. So it's called benching. Basically, we need the water condensation to flow down into one point on this side, and then we need it to flow down onto one point on that side, and that will go into an external drainage system. And we'll have another one there, which will go back down the pipe. So I'll see you on the next video.